What's up, guys? So this is episode 4. So today we're going to start H.H. Holmes, which is considered by many to be America's first serial killer. So in this episode I'm going to talk about just background and all that stuff, and then episode 5 get into his first murders. Episode 6 could be the last one that I talk about. So we're going to talk about H.H. Holmes. His real name is Herman Webster Mudgett. He lived from May 16, 1861 to May 7, 1896. He's better known as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. So he confessed to 27 murders. Now, I and a lot of people agree. In criminal psychology, we did a case study on H.H. Holmes, and a lot of us agree that his actual total is more in the range of 170 to 200 because when I did a case study on Ted Bundy, I said there's no way that he committed just 37 murders. There's just no way. I think the actual total is around between 52 and 102. That's what I think, because Ted Bundy himself in an interview said it was somewhere around there. Just like Gacy, I think that it's not 33 to 44 that a lot of people agree. I think it's more along the lines of 50 to 55, just because of the amount that he was killing, and he said himself that he lost count after a while. So I think that it's in that range. So I'm recording all the H.H. Holmes episodes today. I may record the first episode of The Man. So this is going to be between 3 and 4 parts. I don't know just yet. It just depends. Because this season obviously has 13 episodes instead of normal 10. So yeah, and I said I want to change things up, start filming things in a lot more fast way, stuff like that. Like when I filmed the regular series, obviously those would be every single, they'll go by once a week. But things that I film on audio form, and I may even start recording like real paranormal stories, also like that. Instead of once a week, recording them all in one thing, and maybe leave the season finale for a later day. That way it's just more easier for me, and I can track and see what paranormal experience I have to talk about the next season. Because I have so many because I have a notes on my iPhone that tells me what ones I have to talk about this time. And I remember, damn, I mean, just by myself. Just by myself, I can do 20 seasons just by myself with all the paranormal experience that I've had. Well, as a update just on my health, I am getting better, but the congestion, like stuffy nose, is still there. My father said that can last. I mean, even though you're done being sick with the flu, the stuffy nose and having some of those symptoms don't go away until maybe a week later, up to a week later. So, and I did buy a brand new horror game that I had no idea, I'd never heard of in my entire life, called Man of Medan. It's made by the same people that did Until Dawn. And I can't wait to play that. And then I finished episode 1 of Resident Evil Revelations 2. I want to get episode 2. I really enjoyed episode 1, so I'm going to get episode 2. If I don't, then obviously that'll be the last episode that I get. But, yeah. I'm feeling a little bit better. Yeah. So many victims were said to have been killed in a mixed-use building which he owned, located about 3 miles, 5 kilometers west of the 1893 World's Fair Columbian Expedition, supposedly called the World's Fair Hotel, formerly called, quote, the Murder Castle, end quote. Basically, his like hotel or building that he owned were basically his location of murdering people. He had things that would lead to like nowhere, things that would lead down into the basement or something like that. And basically he created the house or created the building solely to murder people. So let's into a little bit. So the way I'm looking at the case has enough information that I think I can do. Maybe just So he was born in New Hampshire, but died in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at age 34. So he died by hanging. His major span of crimes was 1891 to 1894. Yeah, so next episode I'm just going to talk about the murders, and then part 3 will be his capture and arrest. But there's just not enough information to do. So Holmes arrived in Chicago in August of 1886, which is when he began using the name H.H. Holmes. He came across Elizabeth S. Holton's drugstore at the southwest corner of South Wallace Avenue and West 63rd Street in Englewood. Holton gave Holmes a job, and he proved to be a hard-working employee, eventually buying the store. Although several books portray Holton's husband as an old man who quickly vanished along with his wife, Dr. Holton was a fellow Michigan alumnus, only a few years older than Holmes, and both Holtons remained in Englewood throughout Holmes' life and survived well into the 20th century. It is a myth that they were killed by Holmes. Holmes purchased an empty lot across from the drugstore, where construction began in 1887 for a 2-story mixed-use building with apartments on the second floor and retail spaces, including a new drugstore on the first. Holmes declined to pay the architects or the steel company, Annetta Iron and Steel. They sued in 1888 and 1892. He added a third floor, telling investors and suppliers he intended to use it as a hotel during the upcoming World's Columbian Expedition. Now the hotel portion was never completed. Furniture suppliers found Holmes was hiding their materials, for which he had never paid, in hidden rooms and passages throughout the building. There were soundproof rooms, mazes of hallways, some of which seemed to go nowhere. Many of the rooms were outfitted with chutes that would drop straight down to the basement, where Holmes had acid vats, quicklime, and a crematorium to dispose of his victims' bodies. Their search made the news. Investors for the planned hotel pulled out of the deal when a jeweler in the building showed them the architect's articles. The hotel was gutted by a fire started by an unknown arsonist. Shortly after, Holmes was arrested but was largely rebuilt and was used as a post office until 1938. In 1892, the hotel was somewhat completed with 3 stories and a basement. The first floor was the storefront. The second story consisted of his elaborate torture rooms, which contained a chute that led to the basement. The third floor held more apartment rooms. In 1894, some police officers inspected the hotel while Holmes was out. During the inspection, they found rooms with hinged walls and false partitions, rooms linked with secret passageways, and even airtight rooms that were connected to pipelines filled with gas, which Holmes used as gas chambers. Jesus. Holmes would use chutes to deliver the bodies to the basement. Once there, he made use of surgical tables and an array of medical tools to dissect them before selling their organs and bones on the black market and to medical institutions. That is it. So, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.